as soon as I
What's
get done
what's
with.
going on, everyone? Sorry, no intro tonight. I hit the wrong button. Here, I'm telling Austin I'm going to do an intro, and I didn't do an intro, but whatever. People will rewatch this and come on. Let's see if we get some viewers coming on here before I actually start talking.
Cool,
But
cool.
yeah, this is going to be a probably the last live for the month of May or April because I got some personal things I got to take care of. I need to do some things personally and give myself a little bit more free time in the month of April. And I'm going to come back on May 6th, will be my next live. I may come back a little earlier than that. I may not. It all depends how things go. But Austin, when I met Austin for the first time in person, he came in, says, "Man, what's going on?" I said, "What's going on, brother?" And he's like, "I'm tired. I'm going to go nap." So he goes in, goes naps on the bed I was sleeping on, and takes off his clothes. He drools on my pillows. So I had a naked Austin on the bed I was sleeping in, and he had no idea I was sleeping in that bed. But we'll forgive him for that. But that's the first time I met Austin. A guy comes in and drools on my pillows and sleeps
Gives
naked
it
in
to
my
you.
bed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Awesome.
That's pretty funny. But Austin, if you guys don't know who Austin is, Austin Hoover is Chad's son. I'm considering Austin, and so is Chad himself. Austin's gonna be the new face of KBF. He's working alongside Chad. He's been around Chad his whole life, obviously. And Austin's a great filmer. He's a great fisherman, and we're gonna get into that tonight. The guy's been doing some big pics putting up some big pictures lately of some big fish. His XTR, what I've been seeing online, looks crazy. Chad's been posting things and stuff, and we're gonna play a little clip of that here. We're gonna get into Austin's actual 130 build, and then I saw a post today, I think on KBF, that you guys are showing off your PWRs. So we're gonna get into that, what we got going on there, and we're just gonna discuss some things with Austin tonight, and
Sweet,
this way
sweet.
you guys get to know him a little bit better. But welcome to the episode, Austin. We appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you having me. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. Let's get into this kayak. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I want you guys to
Okay.
see this if you guys have not seen this yet from an external view. Let's add this on there. Let's go full
Which
screen.
video are we going? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you guys can see here, this is an XTR 130 from Bonafide, and you can see right from the beginning in the back, we have these are those new power cables, right? Those white
Yeah, it's
cables
a
here, Austin?
it's a new harness from Sea Clear Power. So
And that's been
that's
keeping your
I.
graphs clear, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. Like I didn't think like when I first got him and we started going down that route, I was like, it can't be that much clearer. And then when I put them on, I was like, oh wow. I've been, how I rigged my power, I knew was not like the best way or the best way for clarity, but it was very efficient and it was, we're kayak fishermen. We got to put stuff on, take it off, put it on. And I did my power for quickness and efficiency. But this one I said, I want the clarity. I've got all this money in these high end graphs. Why am I not maximizing my side scan, 2D, three or not 3D, 2D, active target, all that. So we did this, and I absolutely love them. It's probably like because I mean you and I both have a background in electrical outside of the fishing industry. Other than the boat itself, that is probably my favorite part of that build, which is crazy. Of all the things that I could be excited about,
Mm.
some simple wires that are inside the boat that nobody sees, and some connections, and the way that Sea Clear does all that is my favorite part.
Yeah, I mean and to us that's easy doing the
Yeah,
electrical side of things, and we can really go crazy. I mean, me, even though with all my experience, my kayak is very, very simple still as far
yeah.
as
And
electrical.
that's the thing with Sea Clear. Nathan and the team at Sea Clear, they've come up with a harness that, like you and I can rig something, and like Chad can rig something, and there's people out there that can rig, but then there's some people that can't rig. Like we just saw a boat that just got burnt to the ground. That's probably due to not knowing how to rig your boat or thinking you do. And in electrical, we say enough to be dangerous.
Hmm.
And Nathan and them are making it very easy. Just it's plug and play per se. So
Yeah.
it's a cool
So we're
harness.
so is this your current setup? This is how you have it set up as of right now today, or did you make some tweaks to it
Uh,
already?
it's got everything
We'll
but
play
the
the
power
whole.
pole. Yeah,
Okay,
it's got
so we'll.
everything but a power pole. I put a power pole in the back.
Okay. You running a single or a dual?
Just a single on one side. I've got it and an Anchor Wizard on one side. It's about all I need right now.
Okay, and we'll zoom up here a little bit. You can see he's got the Black Pack Pro with the short stack on top, and he's got track packs on top of
Yeah,
that.
16 by 16, if anybody's wondering,
hmm
just for
And then,
reference.
so what side tray is this you have on your seat
That's
here?
Millennium. That's Millennium. The same person that makes that seat they just make a little tray. I actually, hold on one second. It's literally, the box is sitting right here.
Okay.
It is this little thing right here.
Let's get Austin. Hold on, I get you full size
Oh,
here.
it
Okay,
is that. It's just a little, I don't know, it's made for their seats.
nice. So it's almost like the new canoe style because they actually got
Yeah.
like a little side tray, but that's a little bit bigger though for sure. Looks like it has a cup. Yeah, you got a full size cup holder in there
Yeah, it's
too.
got a cup holder in it, and it's got two places for pliers, and then it's got like a little square tray, and then like a round tray, and then like a bunch of like tethering options or tether points. So I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Makes it easy.
So as we zoom up here, minus the lettering there, what do you have going on there?
That
What
is
mounts are
that,
these? What's going on? I mean, you're
that's
just
another,
standing there casually.
yeah, that's another Millennium mount. It's called the Millennium Double Graph mount, and it's not just for forward-facing sonar. Yes, I do forward-facing sonar, but it's not just for forward-facing sonar. It's like every time you see a kayak angler, right? If it's time to go scan or it's time to go find some fish, anytime they want to, unless it's like they do the like it's like right here, it's like right here on the left side, like right by your knee. You're having to reach up and touch stuff, or you're taking a 7-inch screen or a 9-inch or a 10-inch. Some people got 12s. They're putting it farther away, so you're not being able to see the details. So that actually extends towards me, and as I'm going side scanning, I can see stuff. So all it is a telescoping mount. It's very minimalist as far as like there's some telescoping mounts out there that are very bulky and they have to be to hold 12 and 16-inch graphs. But since I'm running just two 10s, that thing is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, running the 210s being elevated like that definitely makes
Yeah.
it easier. So you lower those down when you want to sit down for the day too
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. I lower them down, and sometimes I'll just put them out of the way completely. Like that mount actually turns sideways, so like I can take them sideways and just lean them on and they're not there. They're just to the side. That boat's got enough volume in the front. It doesn't cause the boat to do that. So yeah, I love that thing.
And you have these
I gotta
track
cl-
packs up front.
I gotta clean up the wiring up there, but that was literally the maiden voyage of testing out before I finalized everything.
Yeah, you can put a rod sock around that or something sleeve.
Yep.
There's all sorts of things out there. And so as far as your motor, I think back in the day, I mean not that long ago, but you were running the Torpedo or a stern mounted motor. Then I
Yep.
noticed you change over to the bow mounted motor. Are you sticking with that all the time, or is there times where you go out and you actually still use a stern mount?
There's times that I still go out, but I love the offshore game. Like I absolutely love it. For the most part, on most bodies of water, there's certain bodies of water that go, and just certain times a year. I think your majority of your big fish are out deeper. So everybody knows the benefits of spot lock, and so I love the offshore game for one reason: bigger fish. Two reason: there's less people, because most people are just going to beat the bank, and you're just unlocking more fish. And
hmm
so I'll probably and then the third reason I mainly went with that is because I love to stand up and fish. I hate sitting down and fishing. Like it drives me insane. I'm not knocking anybody who does it. It's just a personal preference. And just to be able to stand and use your remote and doodle along, that's why I went with it.
You thinking about getting the remote foot mounted since you like to stand, so you can do
I
foot
don't know.
control?
I'm thinking about it. It's just on a kayak, it's a whole different story.
Yeah,
With
I know.
the heading locking and everything. If you pay attention and you just use a little bit of brain and think ahead, it's not that big a deal to reach down. Like I fight fish all the time and just reach down and hit the remote to stop if I'm going down a bank with a chatterbait or a crankbait. So probably stick with it. I'll play with we're getting a Recon coming in pretty soon
hmm
that we're going to play with, and I'll play with the foot pedal. problem with the kayak is if you're on a foot pedal, that means you're going to put all pressure on one leg and then no pressure on another. And pretty much the only boat out there is the XTR that can handle people having all that pressure on one foot without, your boat being like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the main thing that you have to worry about in a kayak.
And which mount do you have there for the forward facing? Looks like you
That
got a
is
Yak Attack
that is R&D
holder.
right there. That is all. That is research and development right there. So we're developing a mount right now that is the DD26 live foot mount. It's
Okay.
most live scope mounts you have to reach down and touch them, either the Sniper Marine or the fishing specialties. I've used them all. You got to reach down and touch them, and if you've done forward facing sonar, you know that that's a big disadvantage. You're leaving a lot of fish on the table if you're working a bait or. So now that one it's got a key fob and it's got a foot pedal, a left and right foot pedal.
Is that the
So
one Gene's running too, or
no,
same one?
Gene is running a cornfield. I think it's cornfield or something. But
I
that
know.
the one that one's a lot lighter. It's all carbon fiber, a lot smaller footprint. So for kayaks, it's awesome to just have the ability for it to be lightweight, compact, and very minimalist for a live scope mount that has a turret.
For sure. I mean, I might have to start learning how to fish offshore because, like you said, I mean, you'll never have a whole wave of people
Yeah.
go out there, but you are going to get more people offshore getting off the banks, but you'll still have most people that just fish old fashioned. But, the more I keep looking at this and stuff, and I always tell everybody I'll never get it. I could fish offshore with just a regular, down scan and side scan, but I know it's a
Yeah.
big difference having forward facing because, you may just be wasting casts and it's live. So, I mean, maybe one day we'll get into
No,
that.
it's a give and take. I mean, I've been out there before with the forward-facing sonar and wasted time on trying to get a fish that wasn't in the mood to bite or whatever. So it's all about learning the tools and learning the fish. It's a tool for sure.
You got the
There's
new mounts yet for the book
I'm
control?
actually not putting it on this boat. I'm gonna put it on my power because it's actually out in the yard right now. We've been working on it all day. I'm re-rigging my power to be my torpedo boat per se.
Okay. So
Because
like running
because
rivers.
rivers and like a scout boat per se, or just if I just don't want to use that boat or I don't want a bow mount like Gunnersville. Like y'all are coming to Gunnersville next week. A bow mount on Gunnersville this time of year is probably your worst enemy when it comes to kayak fishing tournament because there's a lot of fish moving up shallow and the big fish are moving up even shallower.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so the reason
So I'm
I don't
hoping.
have the Wizard on that one is because I got the rudder on the back. And those things are so smooth, any kind of side wind or side pressure, the pedals just move. And sometimes I need that rudder just to stay a certain way. And I don't want that rudder just turning one way and then turning the other way and then turning that way. So with the stock mount, it's got that little bit of rigidity. So I'll probably just stick with those for now.
Okay, very cool. So that's one happy. You have a big smile there. So it looks like a very cool setup for sure. It's a nice looking rig. I was
Appreciate it.
talking to my wife the other day, and I'm like, which you've met, you met Meredith
Oh, yeah.
before, and I'm just like, maybe one day I might have to get an XTR too, But that boat I'll strictly just wet launch with a trailer and just get a separate
Oh, yeah.
kayak trailer again. Because what's
Yep.
that 170 bear, isn't it? The weight on that?
170 with the seat and everything in it.
Yeah.
So it's like 150 without it. So, but yeah, 170 as it comes.
Yeah. So I also want to show everybody your. Where is this? So this is a nice shot we have here. So this is yours or Chad's?
That is mine. You can tell it's mine because it's got a bow mount on it.
Oh yeah,
think-
that's right.
I don't think Chad could use a bow mount. He's scared of them almost a little bit.
So did you cut down your side stagers from Yak Attack in
No,
this or no?
nope. I just have two rods in there.
Okay.
Actually, funny joke is you see that paddle on the side? That paddle was supposed to be in there, but got in a rush and forgot when we did that little photo shoot kind of deal.
Oh, okay.
Supposed to show that the paddle can actually fit in the rod stagers too.
That's a hell of a setup there too. So are you moving these graphs back and forth, or do you actually have 4 graphs?
No,
leaving
I'm
them on
moving
the
back
boats?
and forth. I wish I
Okay.
could.
Yeah,
that many
that's what I figured too. I figured you're moving back and
Yeah.
forth, but
Yeah.
So this is actually even a closer up. So which one do you, now you have seat time in both of them, which one do you still prefer?
Um, if I was a touring angler, the power, like you watch UFC or some of the people watching watch UFC and you hear the term pound for pound UFC boxing, the PWR is the pound for pound best boat out there.
Hmm.
You can do anything in it. Like if you take it to a river, we've done it. We've taken it down rivers and drag. It's not that bad. Obviously, it's not the choice, but you can do it. I don't think you could put an RV or a XTR in the creek and like with moving water. I think you would have a very hard time maneuvering and all that good stuff. So if I had to pick one, the power, but my favorite one for the way I like to fish would be the XTR
Okay.
all day. The
Both.
stability in it, the open cockpit, the just the ability, the way you're able to rig it for the way I like to fish, it's it's awesome.
For sure. And we were talking earlier, and you said you have another, do you have a meeting or you have another live stream at 9?
I have another live stream at 8 or 9. I have to look at it again. It is for the Yak Off Awards, where actually the first boat you showed, the first overhead drone shot, it's up in competition, kind of like a March Madness bracket right now.
Okay, so that's the one you have in competition. So did you,
Yeah,
so you won previously. I think I did see that for sure
I
that you,
won. Yep, I won round one. So now I'm going up against another Hobie.
okay. That's nice. I think you'll get it, based on what I see there.
Yeah.
So,
So those pictures are the pictures that are in for the pictures, and then some of the video. Which no, we didn't put any video on that one. So,
okay.
but that's it.
That's cool. So is it just a the talk tonight, or is it
It's
a
just a talk. Yeah, they're gonna take me, and then it's Ethan and Jet, G or Jet, and then we're just gonna have a podcast with Marty Hughes and just kind of talk kayak fishing. That's really it.
okay? As soon
We'll
as I
talk about
find
our
here.
rigs. We'll talk about the rigs that one you just showed a little bit, and we'll talk
Mhm.
about his a little bit, and then probably do a little bit of smack talking back and forth, and then kind of like we're doing here, without the
Yeah.
smack talking.
So, are you gonna fish any tournaments in person this year yourself, or you just
I was gonna fish the TKS, but we've got some people coming in, some sponsors that are coming in that we're having to, host, but so we'll see. I do a lot of the judging for KBF events, and then I got a film chat, and then we got a busy film schedule. So just in between all that, it's just hard to find a live event that I can go to. I'm thinking about fishing the Bassmaster Del Holla at the end of
Mhm.
the month because I love that lake. It's one of my favorite lakes in the country. I've won some tournaments when I was in high school fishing out of a bass boat, and I haven't been back since. So it'd be interesting to see how it's fishing nowadays and see how I could do out of a plastic boat. So we'll
so
see.
anybody who's
I
going to
want
T,
to. Go
you there? Did
ahead.
we lose you?
You got
Yeah,
me?
you're back. Yeah, I got you.
Hello?
You there?
Okay. I don't know what happened. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we lost you. So with everybody coming down for the TKS, this knows we just looked before we jumped on of the 51 anglers. What is the go-to bait right now? Give some juice and help some people out.
It depends. We went out on Gunnersville
Don't
a
give any
week
spots away.
ago.
Just
Not giving any spots away. I'm just saying we went out on the lake to just for our own sake. I mean, we literally moved here for Gunnersville, so we went out just to kind of feel how the lake was. And there's some fish moving up. So your basics, your chatterbaits. It depends on how you want to fish. I think you can pretty much go up shallow and throw whatever you want right now. Just to if you're around fish that are on beds, obviously you got to slow down. But a juice tip that I would give some people is if you get around some docks, throw a glide bait. I
okay.
can promise you there is less people throwing a glide bait than a Cinco, and you'll have some fun. Chad and I went out the other day. He was doing the Cincos and the chatterbait, and I threw a glide bait, and I had more fish than he did. Not
Okay.
he could have been doing his thing, trying to get a feel for it, but I went out and caught fish on a glide. So,
Nice.
but your
So
typical wacky rig, Nico, all that stuff's working right now.
yeah, spinner baits. Spinner baits probably work too.
Spinner baits, yeah, spinner baits, chatterbaits, swim jig. If you can have if you can have a spinner bait, a chatterbait, and a swim jig tied on, and just cycle through those and figure out which one they're in the mood for that day, that hour, you'll do some damage.
Yeah, because they're calling for 10 to 20 winds on Saturday and rain on Sunday. So be good Probably moving bait day. A good spinner bait
moving
day.
bait day, and then it's going from we just had a little cool front come in, and then it's about to skyrocket up to the 90s. So, and then we've had 75, 80 for the last week, so they can feel that weather. So once they feel that weather is here and going, they'll go to the banking for sure.
Very cool. So, as far as traveling this year, you got anything planned for yourself, or would like you guys got any special trips planned yet, or no?
Nothing for me special. We're still debating on if I'm going or not because of marketing and all that. He's going to Canada. That's going to be a cool trip.
Hmm.
And then I'm going to Mexico for sure. And I think both of us are like, one of us may go to one and one of us may not. I'm gonna go to Mexico for the team kayak series or the Iron Kayaker Championship,
Okay.
and that's gonna be fun. We went last year, and we spent 9 days in Mexico with Jerry and those guys, and it was awesome. You
Yeah.
think kayakers here are proud? Go to Mexico.
Yeah, I saw some of that
It,
footage. They definitely,
yeah.
and they all look very happy too. It's definitely probably a
Oh,
fun bunch to be hanging with.
for sure, especially when the sun goes down.
So as far as your rods and reels, you got anything running new this year? You got anything that you're
No,
testing out that you want to try up? You're just sticking with like Shimano, G Loomis?
yeah, I'm sticking with Shimano G Loomis. I run X Prods. I got one G Loomis. I splurged last year at the Red Crest Expo. They had a good deal on a swim bait rod on a G Loomis IMX Pro that I had been eyeballing for a while. So I picked that up. Um, but yeah, nothing really. More than anything, what I'm doing this year is dialing in what rods I like for specific techniques. Like I did a video on Chad's YouTube where I went out and was throwing a big swim bait, underspin swim bait, and even in the video I showed that I had one rod and one reel combo, and then I was like, today's a good day to test it out to get an exact feel because you can test stuff out, but if it's not the same conditions, can get a false feel, and that's mainly what I'm doing is just testing. Do I like this rod for this, for forgiveness, for fatigue on me? You start getting into bigger baits, having the right rod actually helps a lot because it's taking the pressure off of your joints and all that good stuff. So
Yeah, we do a lot of
same rod,
cast. Have you had a
vodka.
Bates reel in your hand yet, or no?
Oh, which one?
Bates reel?
Oh no, I have not. I've seen some nice stuff from them.
Yeah.
I saw that they've released a lot of nice stuff recently, and I think I saw a little teaser that they're going to do a spinning reel too.
Yeah, he told me about that last year, but I know it's still in the works, and 'cause that'd be great for me for saltwater use and
Yeah,
everything. But those hundos are, extremely comfortable.
yeah,
Just here recently, I picked up two Cast King Megajaws Elites, and
nice.
I'm still very happy with those at that price point of 130. I've always been. It's funny. I kind of started off on the expensive side as a kid and kind of held that way. And now, as I'm getting older, you figure I'd want to still buy more expensive stuff. I'm kind of getting to the point now where the reel doesn't necessarily matter. Obviously, you don't want it to fail, but I rather buy three casking reels as almost throwaways and compare the one baits. But I have four baits reels, so I figure those will be with me for life anyway, and hand down to
Yeah.
Jared. But I'm just everything else has been buying casking lately, and I've been happy with it. Testing it out.
Okay. I used I think is the Hundo the small one. Like it's
Yeah.
like a compact. All right. So when we went down with ICAST last year, we stopped on the way back home and fished with Chris Muzinski, and he had
Hmm.
one, and I was like, this thing is awesome. So I've played with only the Hundo. I would like to get my hands one day on I don't know the names of them. It's a swim bait reel. They made it for bigger swim baits. It's got
The
the
OG. I
oversized handles on it.
think
Is
it's
it
the
the
OG,
OG?
right?
I don't. Yeah. So
I think that's
that
what
looked
it's called.
nice. And then I have actually put my hands on some of those. I think it's these. No, those Casking. Casking makes some nice stuff. They've invested some money in
Yeah.
developing some cool stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna pull that up. So I think it's because I got the goat too. I got the goat 150. So that's the bigger like bait casting reel, but you also have the. Let me look here real quick.
Let's see if I can look it up.
Yeah, yeah, you got the goat, which I have. Yeah, the OG 100. It has there's a little bit of that round frame to it. We'll show that here.
Yeah, it was more
So it's
designed for at least the
so it's this
marketing I
one
saw was
right here.
for
The
you know
You got the OG
Actually,
100.
still loading.
Yeah. So this is the one that's
No,
kind of
an
like,
OG. That's more like that. Yeah, that's
it's
like
kind of
that
got a round,
Calcutta style. I like that.
yeah, but it's still
Yeah,
kind of like
I
a
like that a
bait
lot.
caster.
Right? Yep, that's cool. I haven't even seen that one.
Yeah, you got the OG and I got the Goat 150. So that's what you may be thinking of for a bigger swim bait reel, and that's what my
Oh, right
internet's
here,
running
swim
slow
bait.
too.
I think it's this one right here. If it'll pull up, the Goat SWM swim bait. I'm assuming 200.
Okay, so you got that one there. Maybe you gotta try them out though.
Right
They're very
there.
cool. Yeah, they're good swim.
I like
Okay.
the whole idea. I like the whole premise of it. One piece aluminum and all that good stuff.
Yeah, they're beautiful reels. It's pricey, but
Definitely
you know,
sexy. Definitely sexy.
yeah. So I've only had a couple small issues, but they've been taken care of them under warranty. Not a big deal. I've had a problem with one casking already, so same thing. So
Yeah.
I tell people on the videos, I mean, you're gonna have a problem whether it's a, whether it's a big expensive reel or a cheaper reel, you're still gonna have some issues.
Yeah.
But both casking and
Maintain them.
yeah, just maintain them.
Maintain. Oil them. They say every 5 trips. So I know that seems exhausting for some people. I take mine apart every 5 trips and I re-oil every reel.
Yeah,
So
and I do absolutely nothing.
yeah.
That's probably why maybe. Well, no, everything I'm breaking it has nothing to do with the oil, but yeah, that's one good thing about the baits. I really don't take care of them, and they just keep taking the beating. So as
Yeah.
far as any other products, though, uh, besides the thing you're kind of doing research and development on for your forward-facing sonar, is there any other products that you know that are coming out or are out that you want to get your hands on to do some, have some fun with? Anything that's grabbing your attention this year in 2025?
Really the recon.
Okay.
That's the big thing for me is because the XI3, we all know the XI3 is a slug. That's what you
Hmm.
give up when you go from a stern to a bow mount is speed. You're going for control, boat positioning over speed. So that's the thing I'm the most excited about is a bigger bow mount that pretty much has torpedo speeds almost, but has spot lock and a remote control.
Hmm.
So between that one, the Recon, the Move, Minn Kota just released a new one. So I'm just excited to see that because the XI3 got sundown, so somebody's gonna have to fill that gap, and I'm excited to see what takes it and what people come up with.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the bow mount's got to come back a little bit stronger, and we know
Yeah.
it is. Because there's a lot of market out there for that, and a lot of people still want those. I mean, I always tell everybody I'm a stern mounted guy because of the salt water and with the oyster
Yep.
bars, I'd rather just bang the nose of my kayak into those than the motor and break a prop.
Yep.
Because there really is no. Is there even like a rock guard for a bow mounted trolling motor? Yeah, I
No,
didn't think so.
not that I've seen.
Figure I'd ask you. You probably have the most experience with it.
Yeah. No,
So
not that I've seen for a rock guard.
all these photos I've been seeing on Instagram, are they all fish that you've been catching this year? Or are they
Yeah.
older?
No. Yeah. No. Everything. Let me see. I'm gonna just double check somebody that crucified me. Yeah,
I'll
this is
look
all
here
from
real
this
quick.
year. The only fish that's up there that's not from if it's posted in 2025, it was caught in 2025.
Yeah, because if you look at this one here, I mean,
Yeah.
you're fishing a
Yeah, that was like
big swim
2 weeks
bait
ago.
there.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I saw the
six
video on
inch.
that. So what is that again?
Yeah, it's a 6 inch, 6 inch whale. All it is a 6 inch paddle tail.
It's a big boy. What are you throwing that on?
Yeah, that one is a 7.5 heavy fast, but it's kind of every fast is not the same for every company, right? Like Shimano's fast can be different than Abu's fast or TFO's fast or whoever's. I don't think there's an industry. There might be. It's a personal thing. Like my heavy fast X Pride is not the same as my heavy fast. That's a Zodius. And it's the same
Hmm.
company, so you would think they'd have the same standard. So I like playing with it, and then I played with another rod that day. It was a 7.7 heavy moderate fast, Because the thing you can run into with the fast is if them big fish and they come up and you don't get them hooked right, they come up and start shaking. That's an 8/0 hook with a 3/8 ounce lead weight in the front. They'll throw it in a heartbeat. So,
But
but
yeah,
that
you've been
one's
catching some big boys this year
yep.
and girls. See what else I saw here the other day.
Yeah, all that is this year. Yeah, I haven't posted anything old.
Been seeing
I'm
a
about to
lot.
post some stuff that was from about a month ago where my footage corrupted and I just now got it back, and then I'm just, you know how it is, getting around to it. So that'll be
Yeah.
the only thing that's like a little delayed. Did a 30-pound day without forward-facing sonar, so that was awesome.
Oh, it's nice. So are you catching most of your bigger fish this year down there on glide baits and using bigger fish, using bigger baits, or you just mix of everything?
Well, bigger baits, yeah, big swim baits, but I have caught a couple. No, let me think. Yeah, they've all been bigger baits. Only bait I've caught 2 fish on a minnow style that were over. I got a 22 and a 23 and a quarter. Other than that, it's been big swim bait, big deep plug. I haven't caught a big fish on a glide bait this year yet, so that's usually starts right now when I start breaking out the glides and doing all that. But yeah, it's been deep plugs and big swim baits. That's really it. Big
Nice.
crankbaits like DT20s, like DT25s, not DTs, but stuff that goes down to that 25-foot range.
Yeah. I have to start
I'm not
learning.
fishing it. Go ahead.
I have to come down there and spend some time. Would you take some time off and spend some time down there? Would you? And you guys show me how to fish offshore.
Come on. It's fun. Once you figure it out, it's fun because fishing shallow is fun. It's all fun. It's just preference.
Yeah. But like you
Like
said,
I'll start heading to the bank
everybody.
more.
Okay.
You can be. You get on a certain lake on a certain time of year, maybe going to the bank, especially with all this forward-facing sonar people, it might be time to go to the bank. Maybe these fish are starting to adapt, and then they're going to start running up to the bank.
So do you guys plan on testing any other kayaks this year, or are you just going to be solely concentrating on just videography, filming trips, or do you guys plan on testing any other brands for kayak bass fishing?
We might test out the new Wildy, the TAC Pro, because there's a lot of people asking me, Chad, and just how does it compare to the XTR and all that good stuff. But for the most part, I'm going to be in XTR, Power, and RVR.
Okay.
That's about it.
I mean, even though I know you guys are with Bonafide, I'm not saying, there's nothing wrong with them, but is there anything that you would like to just have on the side just for your throw and go, or are you just strictly like the Bonafides and nothing else really appeals to you?
I love my Bonafides, and it could be a little biased, but I love them. I like, you're in a new canoe. I like a new canoe. They've got a nice platform, and but it's hard to get away from them for me.
It's too simple for you. New canoe is too simple for you. With all the crap you have on your kayak, you wouldn't have enough track to put all your stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's unlimited, so could it not be unlimited for me?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, you can really get in there and do a lot of DIY stuff, and
I saw one the other day that I was like, wow. I wish I could look his name up. I couldn't remember where I saw it. It was like an orange one. He had a double graph mount and all that stuff. I was like, that looks cool. So that's the definition of that boat's name right there, is unlimited.
Yeah, I mean, you can, and they're, I think, self-bailing on that. Tyler's on. He may remember it better than me right now, but I think self-bailing is 400 or 450 for the unlimited. And I think the max payload on that one is like 5 or 6. I forget.
What does it
can't.
weigh? Do you know?
It's only like 70, I think 79 or 84 pounds. I forgot. I know the U10, I think, is in the 70s, so I think that one's either maybe
Okay, so
82 or
your
84.
true capacity was 70 about. Okay, that's a good
Yeah.
true capacity, because like a XTR has, it has a 750-pound capacity, but the boat weighs 170, so you got to take that out of the capacity part.
Still a lot, though. I mean, if it's
That's a
750,
lot.
take 100, that's still 600 pounds in,
Yeah,
so.
of what you can put in it, including yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have to try one time, maybe when I'm down there. I mean, I reached out to Chad the other day and told him, I'm going to be down there, but if you guys got a lot of people coming in and stuff, you may not have enough time. But We'll have to do another trip down there and hang out with you guys for sure.
Come on. I mean, you know where we live.
Yeah. I'm gonna share a bed with you this time.
Good. We
I
got the
was
HQ kind of dialed now, so we got a
not
cot and
true.
everything down.
Yeah. Well, my trailer, I could sleep right in my trailer.
Oh, that's right.
I could plug it in and you know, just run a portable AC in there. I thought about that
That's
too
right.
as well.
For sure. This is gonna be
So,
hot this weekend.
oh, I know. Yeah. No, we're staying in the cabin. So Tyler says it weighs 84. Max is 650, and self
That's
bailing is 400.
okay.
So, but that's what's nice about it, though. I mean, it's 84 pounds. So when you have that thing with nothing on it,
Oh yeah.
even mine, I mean, when I have mine fully rigged, it's still lighter than a lot of other people's. Tyler runs even lighter than mine. I mean, you can, you know, move it around so much easier, and it's just so stable. I mean, because you got to remember the thing is a half an inch wider than the XTR. I know it's going to blow people's mind, but that's
Yep.
41 inches wide. The XTR is 40 and a half. So just that flare in the XTR throws everybody off.
Yep. It's optical illusion. I mean, it literally goes like this and then whoom, narrows down. So
And I see you here. You're standing on the seat here in this video.
yeah,
Yes, that post.
we're
We'll
just
show
having
that.
some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, so with the the deck itself, and you're smaller. I mean, you're still taller, but you're still a thinner guy.
Yeah.
Uh, have you tried going down the front of it like a bass boat, or you just feel
Oh yeah.
just more comfortable right in
Yeah.
the
So
middle though?
that day I was walking all over the deck. So
Just hot.
it handles it pretty good. It just I think there's certain conditions where it will excel, especially on the XTR because Hans kind of put the weight of the person back a little bit, which
Hmm.
I love. It's great. So I think there's going to be what I was getting to is you're back farther away, so being able to get towards the front of that boat, like let's say you're on a bedded fish or you want to get that angle on that dock or that branch or whatever, standing up there is feasible. It's just there has to be certain conditions that allow it, and obviously you. So I'm 190 pounds, so that's for reference for the stuff that people see and that I do. I'm 190.
Hmm. So on this other, so your graphs are elevated there, but on this video they're kind of down, or are they still elevated? Just because you're standing, they don't
They're
look like
still
they're
elevated
elevated.
a little bit, but that's what I was telling you about. So when I sit down, it's like right there.
Okay.
So my side scan's right there. It's kind of like typing on a computer a little bit. Like if I'm side scanning or down scanning, I got a brush pile, a school of fish, or a road bed that I want to mark. I don't have to do the whole lean over into the seat and click your buttons and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So, is there any tweaks you think this kayak needs? Do you think he's gonna do any revisions to it over the next year? Or has there been any talk about it from people's feedback now it's been on the market for a little bit longer? So I'm
As
sure there's
far
some
as
negative. There's got
me
to be
or from Bonafide.
from Bonafide. Like, I mean, you guys, I'm sure, are giving your feedback, and I'm sure a lot of people who use this and anybody who's part of their team, and on the backside
Hmm.
of things, I'm sure there's got to be something negative about the kayak that somebody doesn't like. That they think they're going to tweak or they're going to improve this kayak in any way. Add more track to it or change a little bit of the flare. But changing the flare is tough because you got to do a whole new mold, and they're not cheap. But even
Yeah.
just some other tweaks are like that. Has there been any issues with it? I mean,
I haven't had an issue. I think the big issue, and it was for me too, at first was the whole no dual black packs because we got to the power and we've got all these boats to where dual black packs was the thing. It's kind of hard to do the dual black packs on this boat. I think that's about it. But to do that, they'd have to redesign a whole new boat, which I don't know of any new boats coming. So to answer your question, probably not.
okay. I just didn't know if there's any talk about it, if there's been anything negative about it, feedback, because I haven't personally been
I,
on it.
yeah, I haven't heard any negative feedback or seen it. I personally don't have any negative feedback about it.
Okay.
As far as I had some things in my mind when I first saw it when we first got it initially that I didn't like, but just with a little bit of an adjustment, it was like, oh, it's not that big a deal. People don't like change, and I think I fell into that as I didn't like the change. I was in my power. I loved my power. I became efficient with it. I was like, my power got to a point in me. It was just an extension of me. I just knew where everything was. You could blindfold me in the dark, and I knew where everything was. And you know, maneuvering fish was second nature. But after that, it was pretty easy.
So the front hatch underneath, are you using that for batteries?
Tackle. That's all
Tackle.
tackle. That's the big thing for me that I had to get out of my head was is not having a black pack that has all the tackle behind me. It's just in front of me. I do have to put a little more thought forward on what I take with me. I used to take the whole damn tackle store with me when I used to go fishing for like a scout trip to figure out what they're biting. Now I kind of have to put even more of a thought to what I'm going to take.
Hmm.
And then if I'm going to take some stuff, since I've got those graphs mounted to the front, I can still get to it. It's just obviously not as easy as just having a black pack behind you that you just turn around and get into.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you
So
get
I
plus you
got
get the
that.
track packs too. You know, you can
I
put the
got.
track packs.
I've moved a lot of things to the track packs and then the short stack. And the short stack's got that new the webbing inside of it, so that allowed me to put even a little bit more terminal stuff in there, dude wipes,
Yeah.
and just a couple other little things. But other than that, that was the biggest adjustment. Was for me was the tackle storage.
And that's all I run. I got the black pack, which is really my drink, cameras, food, stuff like that. The short stack is all my soft plastics, and all my hard baits go in track packs. I mean, I
Yeah.
have 10 track packs sitting on my shelf, but I still limit myself to just two track packs for hard baits for the day. And I got one for terminal. So I keep very thin because I don't. To me, I rather just find them, get them to bite what I'm using, because what I'm
Yeah.
carrying with me is enough instead of just trying to cycle through different baits and just hope to go after that one because it could be a fluke thing. Because no
Oh yeah.
matter what, if you guys watch me, most of my fish are caught on soft plastics. I just became a soft plastic fisherman. I don't know why, but I did. But I have been, forcing myself to use the chatter bait, and I've always been a big crankbait guy. So, crankbait and soft plastics are my biggest thing. I got to
Track
start
packs
getting
love them.
yeah, I got to start getting into a little bit more swim baits and a little bit more, like you said, like the glide baits and, practice with that. I mean, I got the tackle, the reels and the rods for it. I just got to get into it and just try them more. So, for sure. But we're not going to keep you on here much longer this week and get ready for your next live stream that you have. And we wish you luck. I'll have to go vote for you. So, when does the voting take place for yours?
It's now. It started yesterday and it'll go till Sunday at midnight, or Sunday at 11:59:59.
Well, I mean, I've been around a lot of kayaks, and I still think yours is one of the most, especially the XTR and even your PWR. I mean, I think that you got it fully done out. You got a lot of thought into it. I mean, you've been doing a lot of rigging videos that you did when you're doing all this. I mean, like you said, with your electrical background, that helps you. And I really think you have it figured out very well. I think that, that's something maybe you guys could even do if you get the time. Maybe you guys start doing rigging for people on the side and charge them for it
We're
because I
literally
think,
talking about it. We literally
yeah.
just were talking about it like last week about rigging people's boats. They bring it to us and we rig it out because we got the shop here dialed pretty much now. So if I could sit down and talk with somebody, hey, what do you want? And then we could just order that stuff if we don't already have it. Yeah, we're definitely looking into it.
I would. Just another way to make income, and with your experience, the stuff that you've been around, and everything else. I mean, I think you're gonna lay out somebody's boat perfectly for them, and that's and do a good job. So that's definitely a cool thing. But if you could fish one place, because I've asked this question to other people, and people give me like when I asked your father, he gave me like 10 of them. You
Hmm.
get one bucket place to fish. Bucket. Where would you want to go if you had one place that you want to fish? Now that you've done it already, your bucket list place to fish.
It may be cliche, just because it's everybody's answer, and it just looks so. It just the fish itself is cool, but Amazon peacock,
Okay.
like the big ones, like not just the little ditch pickles in the canals in Florida's, but like an absolute drag ripper on top water. That'd probably be it.
Yeah. Don't like the salt, huh? Don't want to go no tarpon fishing. Tarpon fishing's fun, man. I'm sure you've
Tarpon
done it.
fishing. I mean, my favorite fish is red fishing. Like
Yeah.
that's what I grew up doing. My fate, like if there was money in red fishing, I'd be red fishing for a living and filming red fishing instead of bass. But all the money's in bass fishing if you want to make a living. So
True.
that's what I do. But red fishing is that's literally probably what got me hooked on fishing.
Yeah. I like red fishing more than bass fishing, but
Yeah.
I try to do both on my channel and try to do both in person. So.
Yeah.
But after this tournament, I told Jared I'm gonna take him back out. The tandem setup with the little motor on it, take him fishing because it's been a while. Because I have to get his butt out there too. And last question: if you could fish with anyone, past or present, who would it be?
Whew, that's a tough one. Past or present?
One day somebody will say me. I guess I don't know.
Who's like in the fishing industry or like at all?
At all. It could be your father. It
You
could
know
be your
what? This
grandfather.
is
It could
this is
be.
recent. This is recent, and there may be some recent by because I just met him. But Lucas Black,
Okay.
just because he pretty much made my generation of childhoods with Fast and Furious or whatever, and then it just so happened that he now fishes. So I'd probably
Hmm.
fish with him. That'd be my. If we want to go like old school, then obviously like a Bill Dance or a Hank Parker or Roland Martin, someone along those lines. But right now, probably Lucas Black.
Okay.
So
That's a good
he's
answer
well,
with everything going on out there right now.
yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate having you on. Anything you want to add before we get off?
No, man, I just appreciate you having me on here. It's been fun. And I just encourage anybody, if you have any questions, just reach out. Like I like helping people. I've been very blessed in my life to be able to do this and who my father is. So I just want to give back to the people that people DM me all the time or they call me. Hey, I have a question about rigging. Feel free to call, feel free to DM, and I'll help any way I can.
Okay.
So
And
ran into some guy the other day. He was like, "I'm kind of scared to reach out because it's not like y'all's job to." No, reach out. I'd rather reach out and help you versus you burn your boat to the ground. Because
yeah,
it ain't that hard to mix a wire up or mix something up and then you just don't enjoy it. Like let's take the electrical side out of it. If you just rig it wrong, then you don't enjoy it, and then you got a bad taste in your mouth of what kayak fishing truly is.
yeah. Or drill a hole where you didn't want to, and you get all
Yeah,
worried about that hole and everything like that. But
for
hey,
sure.
I know we're all in the industry to help each other. But when people ask and call you questions, say, yeah, if you're in the area, just come. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. You
just
guys
come by.
got come by, and then if it gets real serious, that's when you guys can start charging because you can't expect everybody to get everything for free. But we help when we can. But
Yeah,
you're gonna see a lot more of Austin. I consider him. So does his father. He's the new face of KBF, but we're all still one big happy family anyway. But we're all out there to help each other. So, well,
yeah.
if I get time this weekend, if you guys are available, I know it's gonna be busy with everything going on down there with yourself, Red Crest, the tournament,
Yeah,
and everything. I'm gonna try to see if I can squeeze in, even if we go out to lunch or a late breakfast on Monday or something like that. I'm gonna try to squeeze
just let
that
me
in.
know.
Yeah.
Just let me know. You got my number. I
Yeah.
may be out on the water with y'all one day. We'll see.
Well,
We're gonna
maybe you
see
can
if I
come
can.
out and film me. Why don't you come out Sunday when it's downpouring? This way I can
Yeah,
keep my cameras at home.
for sure.
So
Awesome.
that'd be cool. So, well, you know where I'll probably be anyway. So, well, I'll tell you where
Yep.
where I'll probably be for at least day one. And if it doesn't turn out good, I got another spot on day two. So, but yeah, I appreciate having you on.
Yep.
Hope
Thanks.
some people, if I haven't met Austin before, learn a little bit about him. He's got great rigging skills for kayak. I think he has one of the most insane kayaks or two insane kayaks. And but it's still really well laid out. I think they look nice and they work perfectly for him. And I think other people enjoy how he has it set up too. So if you guys are interested, you heard it here. We're gonna start doing. He's gonna start doing kayak rigging, starting tomorrow. $1,000 an
Yeah.
hour.
Hey,
So
I'm done filming if that's the case.
right. So all right, Austin. We'll go enjoy it. I have to go vote for you, and we'll catch you guys soon. And like I said at the beginning of this live, which I was gonna do an intro, but I know live you guys came on. My next live will probably not be till May 5th or 6th, the first Tuesday in May, because I got some things in my career life that I'm changing. So I need like a month of time. But if things move a little bit faster and I got a little bit more time, I'll try to come on a little bit sooner. But hopefully, we're gonna have Nakwa on the next show. I was gonna have them on, but he had Billy had to change up it because he had some things going on himself. So hopefully, we'll get them on here soon, and
Yep.
it'll be our next live. And that's the little batteries I use for most of my electronics and batteries. I mean, for my lighting. So I like those little things. But all right, Austin, I appreciate it. I will
Thank you.
catch you
Thank you.
soon. And
All
as
right.
always, guys, be safe on the water, and I'll catch you on the water. See you guys soon. And my next video out will be me fishing down there in Gunnersville, as long as it
Awesome.
doesn't get rained out. If it is going to get rained out, then I'm going to be fishing for with no cameras. So you guys will just get an update on Instagram or Facebook. So all
Just
right,
get the
guys,
board pictures.
that's it. All right, guys, have a good night.